guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I ever No,
it's all about love, though. That's not true?
You really heard that? Nah.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. Where did this interview just go?
In this lawsuit, man, this lawsuit is crazy, man. She alleges that, Diddy, he made her hire and have sex with male prostitutes while he recorded it and masturbated.
Lights, camera, action. he do it all. Yo, what you gonna say about that, bruh? You understand? He didn't want it to come back to him in a way. He hiring the people. He gonna put it all on her. Cause she knew what he liked. Cause she wasn't just hiring it for her. Don't get that effed up, Art. If you think that she was just hiring those male prostitutes for herself, nah. Bruh, I was in one of those exotic bookstores with him. I saw this dude pick up butt plugs. And that's the first time I ever seen some shit like that. And when I said, yo, my man, what you getting this for? He said, can I do my shopping by myself? And I said, yeah. And when I looked up there, it said butt plugs. I bust out laughing and went to the front door. So, you heard the rumors? I knew I used to wait outside of Turkish baths for him. You know what they do in the Turkish baths?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay. That's where a lot of gay men meet. And they all take hot baths together. To each his own, though, bruh. But that's a lot of that these guys get into when they start having certain meetings with certain people and they meet them at the Turkish bath and they do their meetings and they meet their people in those type of situations where they're comfortable at. So they don't have to worry about their indiscretions coming out. You mean? You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, twice, sometimes 3 times a week, me and the driver be outside. He'll run into the Turkish bath. Got that big ass tub at home, but you want to go? No, go ahead.
She also claims that, Diddy, he was trying to control her personal life. And, she was scared of losing her record deal if she refused his demands.
I could believe that. Yo, bro. I never seen him treat Ms. Lopez like that. You understand? Even when he was going behind her back and still dealing with Kim, he didn't want Kim to deal with nobody, bro. Like I said, I can't speak on Cassie or her statements like that, but I can reflect on the way he treated Kim. We would leave Jennifer's house. He would call a babysitter. If Kim was out on the town, we was going to every spot in New York City that the babysitter thought she was at. Do you hear me? Even when he wasn't dealing with her, he wanted complete control over her life, over what she did and how she did it. So that's not hard to that's not hard to believe. And plus she was way younger than Kim.
Wow, man. And me looking at this lawsuit, she say that, Diddy, he forced her to do drugs. I mean, she recalled a time where, Diddy gave her a blue pill, and later on she found out that it was ecstasy.
That's one of Diddy's MO. I know a former record executive during the time that they gave Donna Ross that anniversary in California. One of his former record executives met with him. And I guess he was trying to pray with him or whatever. But he tried to give him a pill. That's his MO. He just showed you his hand. That he financed and supported the same thing he did with Cassie is the same thing he did with Kim. Made sure that the drugs was there.
And speaking of financing, right, she also said in this lawsuit that, after Diddy would abuse her, he would buy her gifts.
I remember times going to, he would never let us see him do the things to Kim. You know what I'm saying? Because unless we was in a hotel, because when he was in a hotel, when we went away, Puff always had the presidential suite. I had the suite right next to him. Like in the Swiss Hotel, the Ritz-Carlton, wherever he stayed at, stuff like that. Always stayed next to him because I was the one who had to open the door, let people in, let people out. When we go to Detroit, wherever we went, I always had the room next to him. So my door had always had to stay open to the suite. So you wouldn't see him physically abuse them, but they may come out the room and you could tell something had happened. It's certain people that he wouldn't do his bullshit around. Heavy D, Wolf, and myself. But you could tell the after effect. So it's plenty of times that Kim ordered something at Gucci or whatever like that, and I had to go pick it up. Not saying that it was because he abused her all the time, but that's a form of what all rich billionaires, millionaires, rich bitches do when they do something to these girls.
Let's get on the Diddy train. Pause. Remember when Diddy did that album, Tomo? Last Train to Paris? Did any of y'all get on the train to Paris with Diddy? Imagine being on a train to Paris with Diddy. Imagine what type of freak shit he was doing. All right, people. So we have the second lawsuit that was filed against him. And it's actually a woman named Joy Dickerson Neal. She's filed a lawsuit against Sean Puffy Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Also Bad Boy Entertainment, also Bad Boy Records, and Combs Enterprises. Now, I got this up here because we want to figure out what's being alleged. Because Cassie has withdrawn her lawsuit, we will never know from her perspective the nuances and details about some of the creepy, weird, freaky, out of ordinary, abusive things that Diddy used to do. By the way, we're not saying that he was ever going to be punished criminally, because obviously for some of these things it's almost 20 years to the day. But it was making people aware of someone who we thought, who branded himself as Brother Love. And when a nigga brand himself as Brother Love, that all he cares about is love. And all he cares about is spreading light and giving back. That doesn't sound like the guy who has tortured or taken, advantage or, been the person who people fear, especially his partners. So that was a great rebranding. But we had to go look in other places to see, does this make sense? Cassie's not talking, but there's some old interviews that kind of allude to what she initially said. And then now, obviously, right before the expiration, we got to be honest, there is the expiration of this law, which is tonight. There's 2 more lawsuits that came down, one pretty much last night and one this morning. At least found out by the media. Could be more. We also have to admit that because Diddy allegedly paid maybe $30 to $50 million, the word on the street might be, if you did have a sexual encounter with him, sue him. Maybe he pays you, even if it's $1 million. It'd be $1 million more than you had before. So we do have the lawsuit here, and let's see if we could go over it a bit. All right. So plaintiff Joy Dickerson Neal. All right. She's suing Diddy. And this is the nature of the action. They say the plaintiff is bringing a lawsuit against the defendants to redress the substantial and lifetime injury she has suffered as a result of being drugged, sexually assaulted, abused, and being the victim of revenge porn that Sean Diddy Combs, or P. Diddy, created and distributed. Now, this is important, this last line, because Cassie, and again, most of this lawsuit, we have to try to cross-reference it with what Cassie said. Didn't Cassie say that Diddy used to film or photograph or some type of capture their freak-offs, and even though she wished those images or videos were deleted, when she thought it was deleted, he popped up and showed her a video that wasn't deleted? So this kind of goes in a frame of Diddy may have been filming, which, by the way, if we start thinking about why settle? Why settle? Why so quick? If Diddy knows that there are photographs, videotapes of some of his illicit behavior, and those might be attainable by especially one named Cassie, of course you're going to settle with her, right? Now, we have to remember one of the reasons why R. Kelly actually got one of the reasons R. Kelly's actually in prison is because R. Kelly himself as well had a archive of tapes of sexual encounters and other things with people who eventually, or who were at the time, victims. So if you're going to have a bunch of criminal activity on your personal hard drive because you think these are your little sex tapes and you're like a porn star, except the women on these tapes believe that they are not coherent, they're not consenting, that's a problem. So if you ask me, one of the reasons Diddy may have settled is because he knew he was a little bit sloppy. If you're into freak-offs and some really weird shit, maybe saying no cameras at all would help you. No cameras from you, or maybe cameras from you, but like you could control that, I guess. But no cameras from nobody else. Clearly, there was a lax in recording and filming and showing to other people. That's why the revenge porn thing happens. But anyway, let's see if we can get to some of the details. Okay, great. Preliminary statement. Joy Dickerson was a college student at Syracuse University. pursuing a degree in psychology and filled with hopes of a bright future. While she did not come from a family with means, she was raised by a single mother who instilled in her high moral and ethical standards and a strong sense of civic duty. She was whip smart, beautiful, and aware that her good reputation was an important asset to be safeguarded. On January 3rd, 1991, which, by the way, we have to put this in perspective. January 3rd, 1991, how old or how long ago is that? It's been 23 years since 2000, and then 91, so 23 and 9, 32. It's been 32 years, right? It's been 32 years. What January? Yeah, it's not 33, 32. Okay. It's been 32 years since this happened. And they're saying that on this day, while on break from school for the holidays, she reluctantly agreed to an early dinner with Sean Combs or P. Diddy. They had many friends. By the way, I do have a problem with this right here. If she is a college student in Syracuse and you're filing a lawsuit against P. Diddy, even though Diddy in 91 wasn't Diddy like he was in 2000 or Diddy in 2010 or Diddy now, if you're a college student, unless I am misremembering, Diddy was never at Syracuse University. Why would you ever be around Diddy? How did y'all meet? And what enticed you to keep hanging with him? I think those things should have been established, if you ask me. But regardless, they continue by saying on January 3rd, while on school break, she reluctantly agreed to an early dinner with Sean Combs or P. Diddy. They had many friends. Okay, maybe this is their explanation. They had many friends and acquaintances in common, and she had appeared with Combs in a few clips of a music video. It would be nice to know what music video that was, okay? After dining at the Wells restaurant in Harlem, home of chicken and waffles since 1938, Combs pushed Miss Wells to keep him company as he attended a few things in the city. Getting into Combs' car that day was something Miss Dickerson would come to regret. During their date, Combs had intentionally drugged, that's a big accusation, intentionally drugged, resulting in her being in a physical state where she couldn't independently stand or walk.
But for his Puff doing the shit he did, it's only obvious what he was involved in. At the same time, right? Interscope Universe the same. They gave Puffy a deal in the first 50 million, 100 million, that project flopped. They turned around and gave him another deal, and that project flopped. But instead, you can steal my shit on some bullshit. Then when you really look at it, I look at it like this. What Puffy done, what Puffy did, or what Puffy do, it's not a surprise. Everybody know what it is.
Hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been accused of beating and sexually assaulting his ex-girlfriend and singer, Cassie.
I mean, you got to be able to do that type of to a woman and other women, but it's not new. It's not like it's new news. Shit. Same time he beat the shit out of motherfucking what's the little girl named Cassie or whatever. He had an assistant by the name of Capricorn. He felt Capricorn. Cap was keeping this shit on the low about if she was messing with Cuddy or not. Puffy beat the shit out that bitch. Not only did he beat the shit out of her, it was an Interscope person, the Interscope check that paid her to settle or he wouldn't go to jail.
You've heard of the golden rule, haven't you? Whoever has the gold makes the rules.
Now, there's a time where they say they're not going to put out records where people cuss and degrade women. Dre even did a thing on MTV, interview, and says, I would never cuss on a record. I would never call a woman a bitch. I would never say these type of things again. And I'm going to do only records without cussing. That's why they say they couldn't distribute Death Row, because my artists cursed too much. So they put out an album called Aftermath. First song was Who Been There, Who Done It, it flopped. But even the people who wrote all these songs never get paid. But then, or a motherfucker who's a bitch beater, they can do the Super Bowl and get an award. Puffy can beat the shit out of 2 bitches and they pay for it. And he get an award. And for his having somebody, you know, have male prostitute fucking your bitch, that's some weirdo shit. But it's not nothing new. Everybody know that Puffy been the fucking Gus ran in for the longest. That's not like it's new news. Why do you think him and Russell was friends? Not that I want to see Puffy go to prison or anybody else. I still feel that way. But at the end of the day, he'd never get charged or go to prison. I mean, he make too much money for the people that he basically worked for or had a business for. And when you look at it, he got lawyers, and her lawyers are smart also. They left something in, but they didn't go all the way. They basically went like, okay, they ain't gonna say he was participating with the male prostitutes also, because they never make it like she was a part of it. And then they weren't gonna say he was, because they gotta leave some out and get them to settle for that $30 million. You know, and they had those side meetings like, you know, shit. We didn't say the part why they were testing your guts out. Everybody know they've been testing your guts out. So let's settle all that's coming out if we have to fight it. So I'm quite sure they're going to settle like ASAP. Right before the Super Bowl, a girl came forward and recorded Drake threatening her, had someone else threaten her, and what they was going to do to her and bring harm to her. A lawyer got it. At one time, Drake wasn't talking to Mike. Mike got it from the lawyer, took it to Dre. Now, Dre be silently giving Mike and Snoop money to try to help their shit. You know, it's a cat and mouse game all around the industry. I mean, shit, Wale never spoke on the fact that what happened to him with Puff. Just like T-Pain was over there on the island, and he claimed they were trying to get a little fresh with him, but he's probably going to deny it, but everybody know the truth. His people had to run a boat to go get the motherfucker off the island. But, you know, it's still the same shit. I'm not looking to see now motherfucker get caught up. And if they get out the first one or get out this one, anyone, they better watch because they still coming, you know. Puffy, I don't want to see you go down. But if you need to sell it, I'm going to grant your ass my sale, boy. Had your cook game working, I don't want no head, but you're going to be cleaning toilets. But at the same time, I'm not looking to be happy and aggressive because another black man did some fucked up weirdo shit, because it's not about Puffy. Puffy had kids. Puffy had 2 daughters. I don't think it'd be fair for everybody to you know, throw that motherfucker through the rules publicly, because let's think about his 2 daughters. But at the same time, my kids, I have kids. Nobody gave a fuck. You know, my son, just had a son, Sosa, that's graduated from film school. He hears shit. My youngest son is Legend. Legend just turned 14. And we talk about everything. Always talk. All through the day. And my son said, hey, I love all Tupac shit. I still listen to his music. That's my favorite rapper. Fuck that, right? He said, why was these motherfuckers going around lying saying you had something to do with you killed Tupac? Knowing it's not true, but now they know the truth, or they putting it out there. They never not once have, I apology, got reimbursed, or them attacking my mother, them attacking my family publicly for something I had nothing to do with. There's a lot of people part of that circle. You know, that circle of you can have a wife and you can have kids, but you're part of that hidden room.
This call